So I haven't yet listened to the testimony. I think I'm not ready because we are still really angry. The wound is fresh again with the non-indictment. A lot of us haven't yet listened to the testimony.
And what does that mean in terms of the protests we could see from here? Are you organising more? You've talked about how the mood keeps changing there.
Yeah, you know, so today is the 110th day of protest. We've been out here every day fighting because we know what's happening right now is wrong, and we'll continue fighting. The non-indictment was a disappointing moment here in America in general. It was a reminder that black lives are targeted in America and that it seems to be okay for some to kill black lives with no consequence. So we'll continue fighting until there's justice.
And it's interesting the way you use social media as part of these protests as well. Has that changed the way this movement is compared to previous events?
Yeah, it's huge. So if it were not for Twitter, Missouri would have convinced the world that we didn't exist. But because we have the power now to organize and to get the message out without anybody else legitimizing it, we were able to create a movement and we're able to sustain a movement that's been going on, again, for 110 days. And if it were not for Twitter and Instagram and Vine, we would never have been able to do that.
There's been many critics over the past few nights, including the President and including the son of Martin Luther King Jr., that perhaps the protests there are too violent and therefore they're unhelpful to the cause. Would you agree?
Yeah, you know, so out of 110 days, there have been about 4 days of looting or what people characterize as unproductive behavior. You know, people are really angry. People are hurt. This is a grieving community. And that is what you saw manifested. I don't condone some of those actions, but I understand that they come from a place of pain because somebody's kid was killed. And remember, in Missouri, it wasn't just Mike, but it was Kajime was killed on the 18th of August, and Von Derrick was killed later, and all 3 of those murders were by white male police officers, and there seems to be no sign of justice.
Now, DeRay, of course, we are talking on the eve of Thanksgiving, the biggest holiday in the American calendar. Many are saying perhaps the protests will lose momentum from now on.
Yep, so I actually just came from a protest right before I'm talking to you. And the police were unbelievably aggressive for no reason. They're not letting up, and we're not letting up fighting for justice. There'll be protests throughout the next week for sure. And we've been going on for 110 days, and we have no plans to stop because this is about the worth of black lives in America. What Missouri has done is criminalized blackness itself, and that is not okay.